Good morning. Welcome to my channel. I'm out for a walk this morning in a local park. A lot of nice trails. And I should be relatively uninterrupted. I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel for quite a while. And really, I have so many interests. My wife says my hobby is having hobbies. There may be a little truth to that, maybe. I think I've come to the realization that what I need to do a channel on is me. This whole midlife crisis thing. You know, I hate even saying it out loud because it's kind of ridiculous. We all know what we're shown about midlife crises. We know what that means. It's generally a destructive process for whoever is experiencing it. You know, some guy hits midlife and has to go out and get a new sports car or get a new haircut and a bunch of fancy clothes, and he looks like a buffoon, and a lot of times he ends up alienating his friends and family, and you know, maybe at the end of the movie or whatever it is, he comes to the realization that other things are more important than these superficial things. There's a little bit of truth to some of that stuff. But my channel is Midlife Process, not Midlife Crisis. I am not a psychologist or a therapist. I don't pretend to have any rock solid medical advice for you. But I will say, I don't think it needs to be a crisis. I think it is a process of really taking an inventory of your life, where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. What could be bad about that? I guess you could not like where you've been, where you are, where you're going. And you could respond in a very unhealthy way. But that process in and of itself is, generally speaking, I think it's going to be a positive process. So I want to focus on the process. You know, on this channel, we're going to talk about financial health, mental health, and emotional health. Hey, future Jimmy jumping in here. I think I may have forgot to mention physical health. It's going to be a big part of this channel. All wrapped around the concept of hitting midlife and getting on to the next chapter. There was a couple of guys did a study, I don't know, 2007 I think it was. It's a David Branchflower and an Andrew Oswald. They did a study of about 500,000 folks across Europe and America, where they found that happiness hits rock bottom in mid to late 40s. You know, and a lot of folks were like, yeah, but you guys didn't really control for certain things in that study. There's a lot of flaws in your study. So David Branchflower goes back and performs a few other studies where he takes a much larger data set. And he finds that his theory is confirmed. That happiness in life is kind of a U. You're happy when you're young. You're the most unhappy in midlife. Your happiness level increases towards the end of your life. You know, I got to tell you, that is encouraging to me because, number one, it tells me I'm not alone. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that I'm terribly unhappy. I have a beautiful wife, an amazing kid. We've got a very nice home. We've got a couple of reliable vehicles that are paid for. I've made some moderately okay decisions in my life that are going to give me some options later in life with regard to retirement. Now, sure wish I could have done more, would have done more. We'll get into that more down the line. But generally speaking, I'm a happy guy. But I've been feeling the strain the last few years. I'm feeling increasingly disconnected at work, out of sorts, without purpose sometimes. I think I'm just sort of going down the rabbit hole of this quote-unquote midlife crisis. Pretty obvious to me now. So yes, it's encouraging to know that there's an upswing. It's actually exciting to know that there's an upswing from here because, like I said, I'm not terribly unhappy. The other encouraging thing is I'm not alone. A lot of folks are going through this. It's not uncommon. So if you're like me, it should provide you some degree of comfort to know that you're not alone. And even better than that, it's going to get better. I guess I'm going to start wrapping this video up. If you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of direction, you feel like you're losing some purpose, you're not sure if you've achieved everything you want to achieve in life, things that once were important to you are not nearly as important, if you're shifting your priorities in life in a very, very fundamental way, and it's got you a little nervous, or you don't know how to respond or how to take it, just know that you are going through a process. There's light at the other side, and together I think we can probably get there. Well, I was committed to coming out here today to get footage for my first video, and the mount for the phone broke. So I just wanted to button up this first video, bring things back into focus a little bit before I signed off this week. Setting yourself up financially, physically, emotionally, and mentally to move through life and to take on whatever the next chapter holds for you is a smart thing. And I think that's one of the things that probably we fail to do. We get so mixed up in our day-to-day lives that we forget the bigger picture. We plan for certain things and we completely neglect others. As I navigate through the midlife process for myself, and hopefully many of you will join me in that process, I'd like to focus on community, relationships, and helping one another get to the other side. Because I think this life is beautiful. It offers so much. And I don't want to get in my own way and prevent my own self from enjoying it fully. I want as few regrets as possible. And the way to do that is to bear down, lean into the uncomfortableness, and forge ahead, because as we've talked about already in this first video, there's something on the other side. So let's get there together. Thank you guys for stopping by today. If I've said anything that resonates with you, it would sure help me out if you'd make some comments below, like the video. You know, I told myself I wouldn't do that, asking folks to like and subscribe, but I'll be honest with you, starting out here, it's probably going to be really impactful for me. You know, the affirmations are always good. So I appreciate your engagement, appreciate you stopping by. I hope that you found something of use. I hope that you found something that was interesting. And if you see fit, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.